In this video, I'm going to explain to you why DPS players are ruining ranked matches. In other words, they're making it almost impossible to win most matches that I'm in that I lose. And I say this as someone who mostly plays a strategist or a tank. I'm 8-Bit the Cool Dad, and I was a Grandmaster in Season 1 and a Celestial ranked in Season 1.5. And in Season 2, I've been playing around with solo queuing, and I'm absolutely appalled at what I'm seeing. Now, to be fair, strategists and tanks do have their own problems and their own responsibilities, and I'm seeing failures with those as well, and I'll probably record a video about those two roles and address those. But right now, I have to give you a trigger warning because I'm going to pick on DPS for this entire video, and at the end of the video, I'm going to provide the way that DPSs can rank up faster and better and really help their team, so stick around. But first, I got to get to all the stuff that's driving me absolutely crazy. So here's the first topic: you and your main. I recorded a video a while back stating that in that video, if you stick to one character and you're a one-trick pony, you're never going to see high-level ranks. And I put a little snippet of that on Instagram, and boy, I got ratioed by people. In fact, I had to turn off the comments because I was just so tired of arguing with people. But you know what? I'm going to double down on this, okay? I'm going to say this again. If you just want to play one character and that's all you know, let's say you are Spider-Man main and that's all you know how to play, you're going to have a hard time seeing high ranks. I'm just going to say that right now. And there's a couple quick things about this that annoy me. One, if you insist on playing just one character, that character can get banned or someone else can take them before you do. And then what are you going to do? You're going to be useless for the team. I'm also seeing people throwing and selling because they didn't get the character that they wanted to play or that the only character they can play. And that's really annoying as well. So the next thing that annoys me is that you only want to play DPS characters. You don't want to play a Vanguard. You don't want to play a support, a strategist, and heal. You just want to play DPS. And so what I see in these lobbies is that 3 to 4 people are choosing duelist immediately before we even ban characters, and it's really annoying. It's actually more than annoying, it's infuriating, because the winning combo composition in this game is 2-2-2, 2 Vanguards, 2 duelists, and 2 strategists. And when there's 3 or 4 DPS characters, that throws off that combination, and the chances of winning that match pretty much are gone. Any chance of winning that match is just evaporated immediately when I see the character selection screen. It's so dreadful when I see everyone fighting over just wanting to play DPS characters. So stop doing that. And I'm noticing, particularly in Platinum, no one seems to want to play tank at all, at least in the matches that I'm in. Everyone wants to play DPS and even strategist. And so we're left with someone maybe who wants to play tank. Sometimes it's myself because no one else will do it. And as a solo tank, it's a little bit harder when the other team has 2 tanks and you're getting double teamed all the time. I also see player compositions where Penny is the solo tank or Thor is the solo tank, and those aren't great tanks to play by themselves. They just get evaporated by the other team immediately. The next thing I notice as a strategist when I can see the entire field and what all the players are doing is that a lot of DPS players treat Marvel Rivals like it's Call of Duty. They just want to go out and get kills, and they think that's what's going to win the match, and that is completely wrong. A DPS player, for the most part, cannot carry an entire team of 6 people. And I'll pick on Spider-Man. You know, if Spider-Man gets a lot of kills and he's having a great time, I've been in many matches where we've lost, even though Spider-Man got a lot of kills. I've been in matches where I've been killed by Spider-Man a lot, and we still won the match. So it's really frustrating when people approach the game this way. They need to understand this is a hero-based team shooter with objectives. It's not team deathmatch in Call of Duty. The next thing I see DPS players not do that ruins ranked matches is they don't peel back to support their strategists, their healers, and the whole team is not going to get far if they can't get healed. And there's a lot of matches I'm in where we've got Venom, you've got all these divers just being ignored by the whole team. And I know tanks can come back and peel as well, but DPSs put out a lot of damage. They can be healed quickly by the strategist, and your goal is to punish anyone who comes into your backline so that they ultimately switch characters and try something different. That's really what you want to do, and it doesn't take much for you to keep an eye on your strategist and look after them, but you're just not going to win the match if you're out there just trying to get kills on your own. And speaking of doing things that completely let your team down because you're treating this game like Call of Duty as a DPS player, is that you're not focusing the tanks on the other team. As a longtime Overwatch player for years, when the tank goes down, the entire team crumbles, and usually who's left are just the healers or strategists, and they're easy to take down. The tanks must be taken down. I don't know how many matches I've been in where you've got a Thing or Thor or Venom just breaking into our backline over and over again and killing us as the strategist, and no one is doing anything about it. Folks, this is why no one wants to play a strategist in this game, because it is so emotionally frustrating to get dove over and over again by a Hulk or a Thor or someone over and over that kills you, and no one in your team does anything about it. It makes me want to throw my controller across the room and rip off my headset and just scream as loud as I possibly can. Of course, I don't do that, but it's very frustrating and it doesn't make this game very fun, and I hate losing because of stupid things like this. This is not rocket science. Your role is DPS, damage per second, and guess who has a lot of hit points and needs a lot of damage taken down on them? Tanks. You need to DPS blast those tanks and get them out of our backline, and you also have to focus them on the front line so your tanks can continue to push the objective forward or hold the objective. It's that simple. Why people don't do this, I find staggering. I find more tanks ignored in this game on the enemy team by my team than I've ever seen before in my entire life, and there's no reason this can continue happening. Everyone needs to focus the tanks, and I keep telling the team, focus the tank, focus Thor, focus the Hulk, and yet the whole time they just uncontested keep coming back, wreaking havoc, and then pushing their team forward, holding the area and winning the match because people on our team, particularly DPS players, have no concept of, yeah, maybe we should be attacking these tanks and blasting their hit points down to 0. All right, this is probably the most annoying thing, if there could be any more annoying thing that DPS players don't do or and should do that I see in matches, is that if they're playing a DPS character that is not a good composition, that's not a good match, that is being countered by another DPS player on the other team, they won't switch because they're playing their favorite main. They only know how to play Moon Knight. That's the only character they want to play or that they know how to play. Well, guess what? Hela or Psylocke is countering you the whole time, and maybe you should try a different character to counter them. I've played a lot of matches where there's an Iron Man in the sky or the Human Torch up there in the sky the whole time, uncontested, raining death and destruction on us the entire time, and no one on my team is firing at them. And yes, I can switch to Luna Snow, who has hit scan, and start aiming up at the sky, but it shouldn't be my job as Luna Snow to take down Iron Man. I should be healing my team first and maybe get some shots to help finish Iron Man, but for no one on the team addressing that, even trying to attack Iron Man, it's just pathetic. It's pathetic that someone should just be up there in the sky, for example, and just not have anyone approach them or contest them, and they can have free reign of the entire match. It's awful. You people need to start switching characters and learning other characters that you can counter flyers like that. For example, choose characters that have hit scan, that have that instant hit. If you don't know what hit scan is, look it up. You need to use characters that can take care of these characters and counter them so that you can focus on protecting your strategists and putting damage on the tanks, which I'm going to get to in this video. You DPS players, you need to be honest with yourself about this. You need to be honest with yourself about this. You can't aim. You know it and I know it, and it suffers. The game suffers. We can't win a ranked match because you can't aim. Look, if you're playing Punisher and you can't aim, don't play Punisher. Okay, play someone else that you don't have to aim on. There's lots of other characters that operate so differently in this game, and it could be a better match for you in your play style. That's all I'm asking, is just to find a character that you're good at, and if you can't aim with that character, then don't play characters like Hela and Punisher that require precise aiming. I'll tell you a secret, and it's really not a secret, but I want to win, okay? I want to win the match, and I really don't care what character you play, as long as you're good at that character. If you want to play Wanda, there's no shame in playing the Scarlet Witch, okay? People make fun of her, or players that play her, because it doesn't take any skill. I don't care. She's an amazing character. She does great damage. She's got a great team up this season. And if that's what it takes to win the match, then that's what I would want you to play as your strategist. So that way I can keep you healed and you can keep wrecking the other team and helping us out in a way that's going to be most productive to help our team win this match. That's what matters. It's about winning the game. If you want to play the favorite character that you want to play and you just love that character, stay in quick play. Don't go into ranked, because don't bring that nonsense in there. We need people that can switch and play the characters that they're best at and play the right character for the right job and win the game and have some type of advantage. Here's my final pet peeve that I see DPS players do to throw the match, is that they don't have any game sense of survival. So this game is all about angles, using cover, using a whole 3D dimension of the battle, right? And I see a lot of DPS players just run out down right the middle of a corridor, again, like you're playing Call of Duty and you're in some type of building or something, and you're not using any any angles and you have no survival instinct. And I'll say this as a strategist, we have to have a survival instinct because we're constantly being dive bombed by the enemy team. We are the priority number one to be killed, and so surviving is key. So we need to watch our angles. We need to know how many players are on the field. We need to know what ults have been used or what are coming. We need to see these things before they come. And as a DPS player, just look around and see if your team is there or not. And if your whole team gets wiped except for you, that's not the time to use your cooldowns and try to get one kill. If you can escape and regroup with your team and not feed the enemy, that would make a huge deal. And there's no shame in retreating back to regroup with your team. I never see DPS players do this. I hardly see tanks do it because they're just not fast enough. But DPS players usually have a good escape to get back to your team. So stop throwing. All right, so I'm going to wrap this all up together. And these are the 3 things that need to prioritize if you want to rank up quick and really be a great DPS player for your team. Okay, and these are in no specific order. These are just 3 things you always need to be looking for, and maybe you'll decide which ones you want to do more than others, but it is very situational because this game is very chaotic. Okay, so here are the 3 things you must be looking for at all times. 1, look for an uncontested DPS player. If it's a Moon Knight up in the corner that's just wasting your team with the Onk, or if it's an Iron Man in the sky that no one's shooting at, those are good examples of uncontested players that need to be addressed. The second thing you need to prioritize anytime you can is to focus enemy tanks. You must take down the enemy tanks. That way the rest of the team will fall pretty quickly after that. I guarantee it. Don't worry about the strategists first. They are squishy. You will get them quickly after you get the tanks. All right. And number 3, protect your healers. Always be looking out for your strategists to make sure that they can heal you, and most importantly, your tanks. If you want to win battles and capture points and move things, these are the 3 things you always need to be on the lookout for. And I guarantee you, I can promise you, if you do these things, you're going to be a better player and your team's going to really appreciate it, and it's going to make a huge difference for you. So let me know what you think in the comments. Am I full of it? Do you disagree with me? You want to debate me on this because you love Spider-Man and you got to Eternal last season playing that character, or Squirrel Girl or something like that? I'd love to hear from you. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and if you like and subscribe to the channel, that'd mean a lot to me, and we'll talk to you soon.